Jeez, that's way up. Oof, ouch. Right on kind of timed out on me there. What else is there? Did I get Crawling by Bullet figured out yet? Sort of. I keep coming back to it, but then they keep releasing new songs. So they're really screwing with me there, and then I've got all the other videos that I want to do. Yes, I will do Crawling at some point because I haven't covered anything off of Gravity. And I don't know if you consider that to be a a Gravity song, but it is, I suppose, on the deluxe version, right? It's a bonus track, and I forget it every single time. Something like that, and then the chorus. And that's an interesting one as well because I imagine that was written in the early stage. If anybody's joined the Bolt for My Valentine Patreon, if you look back on that video with the reflection on Gravity that they did, which is like the first video they put out on there, they said that they went in on that album intentionally to try and write heavy, kind of like what they're doing with this album, the new one. and it just wasn't happening. You know, like techie, heavy sort of riff solos and stuff. And Crawling, I imagine, because that's got the... It's kind of techie, right? And it's a little bit more sort of in their old style of writing. I guess that's one of the first songs that, you know, they were trying to push, writing in the heavy direction, and it just didn't work, which is why they didn't really flesh it out. So it's kind of interesting looking back on these songs now. But yeah, I don't really know much off of Gravity. But I know the intro to Crawling's like... something like that. Try and pick riff there. Something like that. Like I said, every time I've sat down to do it, I always get stuck on that riff, and I know how to play it. It's just not very comfortable to play. But yes, I will cover it at some point, and yes, I will do a lesson. William, how's it going, man? Good to see you. I hope you're doing really well. Yeah, I just kind of felt like riffing today, and just I was just sort of jamming with my camper earlier, just playing riffs. And yeah, I just kind of wanted to keep on playing riffs, but my right arm's starting to tire out now, so all the is getting a little bit more tricky. So. Magic trick. Slower. Oh, hi, Jack. How's it going, man? I'm well, thank you. Too low? I'll come back up. That's a riff that I wrote yesterday, and I say I've wrote. It's probably been done a million times before, and I'm putting filler in there. So when it comes to riff writing, a lot of the times what I'll do, if anybody's interested, is I'll have like a basis of the riff, so I know I've got, and then you know you need something else, whatever it's gonna be. You could keep going with the gallop, so you could throw more notes in. And I'll just throw anything in just for the time being, just so I can cycle it round. So at the minute I've got this, which is very Slayer or Gematria. Is that how you pronounce it? Off of All Hope Is Gone, right? That one, right? So I've got that going in there, but I don't think I'm gonna stay with it because it is a little bit contrived, I think, and I don't know. I'm just not into it. But I put it in there anyway, just so I can repeat the riff over and over, and maybe two things will happen. I'll find something better to go in, or I'll stick with it and it'll grow on me, and I'll think, you know what, it's actually not that bad. So let me know what you guys think. that there. Like I said, I'm just throwing that in just for the sake of as well. You know, that is very all bring me. You know, and whether I want to keep that in there, I'm not. I really to quote Lars Ulrich's dad, I really don't think so. And also the main notes of the riff. I'm not sure if it should be that or. So it's one note that's making all the difference there. So you could go from the 5 to the 3 to the 6, or the 5 to the 6. Yeah, and I am not going to lie to you. I am like so influenced by the New Bullet stuff that's coming at the minute. Just watching the videos and stuff of Matt tracking guitar, like it's really pushing me into like thrashy riffs again. You know, how's it go? No. And I'm just finding it really interesting, just the way he's writing on this album. He's doing a lot of these shapes, and you know, they're the notes that don't really go well together when you strum them, but when you pedal off of them, it sounds really cool. So that's inspiring, you know, and all this gallopy stuff that I couldn't do before, that's inspired me as well, you know, so it's resulted like in a riff like this coming out yesterday. You know, and then who knows? I might join that up with this guy. I've had this riff for ages. Nope. That sort of thing. That sort of thing. These are my riffs, by the way. If I see these popping up anywhere, I'll know. So, yeah, there's a riff I've had for ages, and I've just never done anything with it. Nope. So there's one. That yeah, I'm just kind of enamored by that one at the minute. I don't think it's the greatest thing in the world, but it's really fun to play. And I've got to say as well, guys, this thing, mate, for years I've struggled with that massively. That does not come natural to me. Galloping, yeah? If you watched any of my other videos, if you listen to the podcast, we've talked about it. Galloping, it does not come natural to me. Like, I've had to really work for that. So when when I'm able to get it in a riff that I've come up with, it's just like I just want to play it because it's kind of like a disbelief thing for me. It's like, oh man, I can do that. But a lot of the times I'll do that and I'll go to track it and maybe try and flesh a song out, And then when it's all well and good, me just playing it here for you and going. But when you're tracking and you've set your BPM and you've got to lock in tight with those kick pedals and stuff like that, that just shows how tight you really are, or how able you really are for doing that sort of thing. So yeah, but for me, that being able to just go, it's like, that's a huge reward. But I've got a friend who I was talking to, and he's just like, no, the galloping thing just came easy for me. It's like, really? And he's just like, yeah, battery, had it down in no time at all. So it's, it's horses for your courses, I guess, so your strengths and weaknesses. The one thing I will say is I had to rebuild my my picking several times. I'm a very tense person structurally. I grew up really tensing my shoulders up, and when I'd walk around the place, I'd be very sort of like hunched and tight, and that resulted in me playing tight when I was trying to play, and because of that, my arms tightening up, right, and I thought that's how you'd achieve it, because for some reason, automatically, when you go faster with anything in life, your body tends to tighten up. It's a little bit like being on the outside of on the roof of a train. The train starts speeding up, and you start tensing up and holding on tight, right? It's the same idea. So I thought when I was listening to all the stuff that was going, I thought it was this real tense arm thing going on, and it's not at all. It's a looseness. So there we go. And also, yeah, you're right, Jack. It is a common reaction for things like that. And also, as well, is I'll have good days and bad days with this. Yeah. So today, it just so happens that my state of mind and my body is just up for doing that sort of thing. But other days I'll come to it and it'll just be like, nah, not a chance, not happening today. So you kind of have to, I don't know, it kind of sucks really. You've got to sort of go with what state of mind you're in, because usually when we're on here, it's... So usually it's all that stuff and I'm just wanting to come and chill down. But today I haven't done any covers, no work or anything like that, so no strenuous playing, so I'm just wanting to enjoy my, I'm not wanting to sort of chill down. But we all know I'll end up stuck on this tone because I love it so much. Limitless Potential. Excuse me, I'm getting over a bit of illness. In case you're all wondering, I've done 2 COVID tests and it's not COVID. Hey man, what plugin do you use? I'm using my Kemper right now. So this is my heavy tone is, this is oh gosh, that's reverby. That is a dual rectifier, Mesa Boogie. And, yeah, so I'm using my Kemper now, which was kind of one of the many points of why I bought this, is so that I could stream decent guitar tones out to you guys, hopefully. Yeah. For my covers, ever since day one, it's been Bias FX 2. That's the plugins I use for that. And it's an incredible program. It's incredible software, and I would, yeah, I highly endorse it. For the money that you pay for it, the Elite as well, the full-blown thing, it's incredible. All the tones you've heard, apart from a couple of Strymony bits here and there, it's all been Kemper, it's all been Bias FX even, ever since day one. The only Kemper cover that I've done is my Shadow Moses Bring Me the Horizon cover, because I used the Lee Malia Kemper pack for that one. So there you go. That's what I'm using. And other than that, it's BC Rich guitar generally for a lot of the covers. EMG pickups, D'Addario strings, sometimes Ernie Ball. Ernie Ball just needs I'm fully on board with Ernie Ball. They just need to sort their act out and do some of these, which is 11 through to 56, which is what I use for a drop C and a drop B. They did that, I'd be exclusively on board with Ernie Ball. But yeah, so Ernie Ball, if you're watching, which is highly unlikely, but please put that set together. Love your BFMV guitars, by the way. Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, they're very special. I've had them for a while now, and this has kind of been, this is my go-to guitar now, hands down. The Jackson is sat in a case upstairs, only because I've run out of wall space behind me for like hanging. But yeah, that's a cool guitar as well. I break it out for stuff every now and then. If I'm gonna do guitar solos on the channel, generally that's my go-to guitar for like guitar solos, and it's I've used it this week actually. I did the Say Goodnight intro solo, so there's a little short on my channel doing that. And if you want to see the full cover of Say Goodnight, I don't think that's one I'm going to be doing because I did it with Matt the Riff Master, which was our first collaboration together. Start of a very cool relationship, working together. And yeah, so that full cover's over on his channel. Just under 500 subs before monetization. I did not think about it that way, Jack. Yeah, you're absolutely right. That's exciting. Now, Knives, let's talk about that one. I've been playing that wrong since day one. And I've been playing that with a couple of different versions as well. My cover was one way. Then I did my lesson video, which was another way. And then I've actually watched how they actually play it, and it's so much far simpler than the way I worked out. It sounds like there's notes in there that apparently aren't there. If you watch them playing it, Matt plays that thing when he was tracking it all with one finger. Nope, wait. Something like that, right? Which is muddy as hell. Yeah, so if you watch my lesson video for Knives, take it with a grain of salt. There's two things that's wrong on it. There's the way I teach you the main riff, and there's also the breakdown. I had it as this. Okay? And undoing Ruin 420. Yo, I've been wanting to catch the stream for a while. Glad I finally caught one. Cool, man. It's good to have you here. Thank you. So that's wrong, the way I taught that. Maybe I should have got the Patreon earlier and I'd have seen how these riffs are actually played. Or not jump the gun with getting lesson videos out. Like I said, I listen really deep for my lesson videos, and a lot of them are pretty correct, if I may say so myself. But every now and then I'll get something wrong in Knives. I made an absolute shite show of it, for want of a better expression. So if anybody's learned Knives from my video, I'm here to correct everything. The breakdown is actually... Okay, he's not even doing a power chord on the 5th string there. He's doing this 4th kind of thing idea. So he's got... So, that's the score with that one, and then the main riff. I was playing it all wrong. And I really struggle to play that riff. I don't know about you guys. And I'm still throwing notes in that shouldn't be in there. But, yeah, so there you go. The chorus I got right. So that's correct to my knowledge. So yeah, it's just the breakdown you're going to want to watch out for. Any Axe Wound fans? These could have all been Axe Wound riffs. They really could have, especially this one. That riff right there seems to be a bit of a gateway into this new album, in my opinion. Anyway, I think if you get this riff down, a lot of the stuff directionally becomes a little bit clearer. At least to my ears, anyway. He's just going for it. You've really just got to go loose with your right hand. That's cool. You've noticed I learned it by ear as well and played it the same way. Yeah. Like I said, there's some notes. It sounds like there's notes in there with that Knives riff that just aren't there, apparently. On their playthroughs, they're not putting them in there. But if you listen to the track, and when you slow it down as well, because I've spent many, many hours trying to figure that one out. I was just convinced. I was just convinced those notes were in there, and clearly they're not. So there we go. So here's my sort of disclaimer for that video. If anybody's wondering, I'm playing in drop B now, by the way. Now that sounds wrong. No, it's... And he's... he's playing all the notes that you just don't play. That's why it sounds broke. Look at that 4th fret in that. That's why it sounds heavy and broke. Bullet for My Valentine have never really played those notes before. Like that. Yeah, that's different. That's why it sounds broke as anything. And also, it is new territory for these guys because these pedal notes... That's completely new territory as well. So for those guys, everybody else has been doing it for God knows how long. So it's cool that they're tapping into that now. You know, because there's only so much you can do with them. Which is cool and all that. I reckon I can get that better. Nope. There we go. Sort of. Those riffs, I guess they're kind of the pull for most people with that band. You know, barring your first finger across and moving the pedal note. I guess that's the draw of that band, those riffs. I guess that's the draw. And when they stopped doing that, I think a lot of people were gutted. Let me know what you guys think. That's, yeah, but they're a hell of a lot of fun to play. But at this point down the line, all these years later, because that one's mine right there. I wrote that ages ago, but that's been done. I'm not saying that I'm the originator of that, because that's been done a million times before. And some guys here will probably be thinking, oh, well, that's such and such a band, and you would not be wrong to think that because it probably is. But yeah, these riffs, they sound kind of like jolly by this point. I don't know where the hell you'd go with that. Yeah, I ain't even gonna try. Yeah. So there's bar and riffs. Do people miss that? Let me know. When you bar on your first finger across and you kind of moving the pedal tone in order to make something really musical. But I won't lie to you, playing that way is not really fun for me anymore. For now, anyways, that's not a whole lot of fun. I used to love it. I used to just love cranking the reverb up and... You know, I used to really enjoy that stuff, but I don't know. I think I just kind of got boring in my playing, right? I discovered reverb and then this happened. Was wrong, but there we go, we got out of it. If you ever hit a bad note, by the way, my advice to you would be it's going to belong to some sort of mode, okay? So if we were switching to parallel, so okay, well, that doesn't sound too good, so just move on from it. Try and find the next note that fits. Yeah, so that works. Plus the reverb's doing a lot of the work for you if you're into this sort of style of playing. So if I demonstrate that again. Which one was it? Right, that doesn't sound good, so you just... That doesn't sound good either, but just kind of, I don't know, subtly push your way through it. Again, I'm a bit confused because usually when I play this, I'm in an open tuning, so all my fingers are out. Remembers that one. I remember hearing that for the first time, thinking we were going to get an absolute shred fest of a record. I'm not about to sit and hate on Tampa Tampa. Sorry, I'm still full of cold a little bit. But yeah, you know, I'll let the riff speak for itself. What was it? Uh, Man, I was quite. As a matter of fact, that album had some good songs on there. I enjoyed it. It's a good rock album. If you listen to it loud through speakers and stuff, the sound of it is quite cool. And I get where they were going for. Plus, they were under heavy pressure from the producer, Don Gilmore, right? Who just wanted to make a radio band out of them, I think maybe. But yeah, when I first heard that riff. I thought we were going to get some like really shreddy stuff, and then all of a sudden. You know, all this sort of like drum and bass thing started to happen, right? So yeah, that's. Let me know if any Temper Temper fans on here. I've never covered a song off that album. Would anybody want to see me cover it? You went really odd there from shredding. Yes, it does, exactly. Kind of have a soft spot for Temper Temper because Riot was one of the first songs I got into by them. Okay. Plus the solo blew my mind. Favorite song, Truth Hurts, probably Living Life. Living Life is a good rock. Yeah, that's a good song. Truth Hurts is good. Dirty Little Secret is good. Yeah. That's all good. Riot, not so much, but it's interesting. Riot got you into the band, which is really interesting. But the thing is, here's the thing with Leech has a good like a punk rock kind of vibe, right? Here's the thing. It's like Load era with Metallica. When I was given my first Metallica CDs, I was given a mix of them. The Black Album and Load and Master of Puppets and Justice at the same time. And so I didn't know I didn't know the difference. I was young. I was just putting on the album. So I dug Load straight away. So I've got a soft spot for that massively. I just enjoyed the music. Didn't know about the whole thing that, you know, people saying that they just didn't like the music and stuff like that. Didn't know about it. I just put it on innocently and enjoyed it from the get-go. With Tampa Tampa, if that's the first album you heard, you are gonna have, and that got you into them, then you are gonna have that soft spot for it. Absolutely. I think my high E's out of tune. Or maybe it's just the rest of them. I think because at the time I kind of liked Riot and a couple of songs on there, but now I've grown with it. Like I much prefer the other stuff personally. Mostly I remember listening to the album on my iPod or playing Xbox brother-in-law. Lego Marvel Superheroes. Yeah, exactly, you know. And it's cool though because at the same time as that, Matt put the Axe Wound record out, which is like one of the best heavy metal records of all time. Underrated heavy metal records because it's got everything on there. I just love trend picking. Love all that. And I was so new to that stuff. I hadn't really listened to stuff like that. So, you know, that got me into heavier metal for sure. You know? So, yeah. Your brother is playing which right now, Jack? Lego Marvel Superheroes. Cool. Yeah. Now, the timing of that is so off. Or my timing of it is off. Because listen to how I start it and where it ends up. So da 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 da, but I end up going like this. So I end up going into da 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 da. It's so hard to play on its own, and the drums kind of shift it. I talked about this in my lesson video for Parasite. The drums kind of shift it. I can't explain it. You've just got to hold your own with it. The rhythm does not change on the guitars. It's the drums that's making it feel different. So yeah, that riff is a bit of a head screw, that's for sure. Right, what about something different? Can anybody name that riff? Anybody? That is my favorite riff of all time. If you can name that riff, you get 10 points to Gryffindor. Favorite old school A Day to Remember riff. I actually don't know how to play any A Day. ATR. Oh no. Wait, not A Day to Remember. ATR, all... Wait, hang on, ATR. I always get mixed up between All That Remains. Right, I get mixed up between All That Remains and what's the other band that begins with A? Shaped by fire, da 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 da, shaped by fire. That band. I actually don't know any All That Remains riff. I know like 2 Weeks and 6 and stuff like that. They're really cool songs. Into the Void, well done. There you go. There's your house points. And that's if Zakk Wylde was playing it, I guess. Into the Void, yeah. And that's where it all starts, man. Black Sabbath, yeah? It all starts right there, then it all starts here. It starts right there as well. I remember I wrote a riff. I thought I wrote a riff, and I was devastated when I realized what it was. What was it? Yeah, well, what's that? Do you know what I mean? That is very contrived. I honestly did not have Crazy Train on... It wasn't even on my Spectrum when I wrote that. I thought it could be like a cool sort of lead sort of section underneath, like over the top of like a... You know, so that's going on, and then you've got... You know, but apparently that's too much of a rip-off. And the more I've lived with it, I guess, yeah. If I put out a song that when people are gonna say, "Oh, that's Crazy Train, man. What are you doing?" You know. So yeah. What other old school riffs do I like? Now we're on the kind of topic of old school riffs. I'm just trying to think. It's very difficult for me to remember stuff off the bat, especially when I'm playing in C-sharp tuning right now. So there's not a lot of old school riffs. Or just older riffs that I learned when I was learning to play guitar. I like that one a lot, which is Unforgiven 3, I believe. I have a challenge for you, Jazz. Try and take a scene from something. Doesn't matter what it is, and change the existing music with your own version. A scene from something. You mean like a scene from a film? And put my effects over the top of it and see what Judas Priest in C-sharp would be very good. I'm butchering that, I know. The Negative Shadow. Do you know something about Polyphia? No. I really don't. That style of playing, I understand it and I know where it's coming from. So that kind of thing, that it's very I tell you what, pick a Polyphia song, and I'll have a look at it online, and let's see if I can get anywhere close to it. So you pick one. And yeah, Jack, that's a brilliant idea with like taking a scene from a film and just trying to change the mood with music. I haven't thought of that. That's very cool. Judas Priest in C-sharp, yeah, I'm butchering the Painkiller riff right there. My God, Richie Faulkner, if you know what's happened with Richie, if you watch him soldiering through that guitar solo, and you can see the look on his face of, ouch, that hurts, something's not right. And he just soldiers on, and he gets the solo note for note perfect. That guy makes me sick. Yeah, so, but yeah, I'm glad Richie's doing better. You know, favorite Judas Priest song? Oh man, anything off of Firepower. I know it's not OG Judas Priest, but something like that. I feel like my guitar's so out of tune still. Sorry, guys. And yeah, I look forward to hearing the Polyphia. Am I even pronouncing that right? Polyphia? Yeah, the suggestion for Polyphia. Okay, try that. Do you know Burn in Hell? It's one of the Tim Ripper Owens era JP songs, but pretty underrated. No, but I'll certainly check it out. You guys should be able to hear my desktop audio if I pull it down. So, oh look, Nice 92 is streaming. Right. What am I looking for? in hell. What a lovely Judas Priest. I'll pull the volume. Right, guys, you're going to have to advise me on my volume because I know what I'm going to be able to hear. But if it's too loud for you guys, just let me know. And, but more importantly, let me know if that's even coming through for you guys. I love learning a good riff. Because I'm not really well versed in Judas Priest. So, but if somebody can let me know if you can hear this, because this is just going to be me sat here quite quietly. Okay, so what are we in? C sharp D. So we're in D standard, drop D, or D standard. So that's tritone, right? You can hear where Avenged Sevenfold got it from, right? Something like that. So we're in the key of D minor, right? C sharp D, yeah. And there's the pull-ups on the bar. Oh, love that. I'm about to pull the volume up a little bit, just let me know if that's too loud. I'm coming back for you. Riff. Have you gotta go? Come on, where's the riff? It's teasing. It's time to burn in hell. I love being recommended new music, by the way, so keep it coming. Man, what a tease. If you're all wondering why I'm looking over here, by the way, I've got two screens, yeah? You've probably seen that on my covers. Just like, why is he looking over there? We're over here. Here we go. Wow, man, that's like Pantera. Similar? Would this be easier if I had a D standard guitar? I think it would, wouldn't it? Unless anybody can advise that it's drop D. As a matter of fact, I don't have a D standard guitar handy. As a matter of fact, I can have a D standard guitar if you're all willing to wait. Okay? Let me go grab my D standard guitar. It's in E flat standard. Now you tell me. Well, we have one of these now, so you can't hear anything. But now you can, though. Oh, man, you're right. Right, let me grab my E flat guitar. You guys are making me get all my toys out. That suits me fine because I enjoy this guitar. It's okay, man, don't worry. Right, so that riff. No. Is that similar? I know I'm kind of making it. Close? Let me know if I'm a little touch out of sync. I shouldn't be. I think I've got the latency solved. But let me know if I'm close. Have you got a gun? Do you remember well? Who'd you use it on? You're going to burn it high. It is a nice looking guitar. There we go. You do have a Metallic Jackson, which is very nice. I wonder who recommended you to get that. Okay, I like this song. What's your name again? Undoing Ruin. There we go. Sorry, man. Okay, that's cool. Here we go. KK down in red. Or is it Glenn? Love that. All that That's my roots right there, because that's Metallica 101, you know? All the... You know, so any riff that sounds like that is really cool. Any other suggestions? I love it being suggested. New music, even though this is what? 1980 something, right? I love being like hearing people's favorite songs and stuff, and then trying to work them out on the spot, you know, because it's always like a challenge, you know, and then trying to work out the tuning. We got there, E flat with this one. Old School Bring Me. I actually don't know anything like off of Count Your Blessings, but I know it's all like. Or if that's not low enough. You know. What's the song where he starts with that pinch harmonic and he goes. This is what he does. Something like that, and then. Hey Crane Tech, how's it going, man? I know it's all that sort of stuff, and then you got to stick all this on the end. The other old school Bring Me stuff, I guess, that I know would be and then it's. Suicide Season, love it. Found your channel from above. My Valentine covers. Oh, thank you so much for your kind words, man. I really appreciate it. Yeah, this guitar, it's special. Don't get me wrong. Saw Bring Me the Horizon not last weekend, the weekend before in Sheffield, and I don't know if you guys saw my video on it, me talking about it, but seeing Lee play this thing after owning it for a fair amount of years now, it was just really cool to hear this thing like filling a stadium. Do you know what I mean? It's without a doubt one of the best sounding guitars that I own, and right now, you know, I'm modulating how low I am, because actually I'm actually this high. So I'm knocking myself down with a pitch shifter. Alligator blood. Something like that. Yeah, I'm a massive Bring Me the Horizon fan, and I love the old stuff. I just didn't really learn a whole lot of it on guitar. Wage War is one of my favorite bands. I'll tell you about Wage War. They're a band that happened a little bit later for me. Saw them at Slam Dunk. Then I went to watch them at Manchester. They just did a gig in Manchester just before COVID kicked off. And then I saw Slipknot after that. And then at the end of the gig, I met Cody, the guitar player, which was flipping awesome. We talked about how like they drop with the camper and stuff like that. For like the drop at the end of Stitch, you know. So yeah, meeting Cody was like awesome for me, because I've been listening to them so much. Like Deadweight is like my favorite album, hands down. The Pressure was okay. I know a lot of people didn't really like it, but yeah, I listened to it. This new album, I keep forgetting to listen to it, and I don't know why. But I should definitely listen to it. I want to listen to it properly. You saw them in Philly, yeah, and you have a good time? Let me know. Because they're opening with Stitch now, aren't they? I think they kind of want to get that song out the way with because they've been playing it for how long. So what do you think of the new Wage War album? I think the High Horse song is in drop C. Okay, cool. I'm sure he modulates though up and down because he's well into playing a riff. You know, the breakdown will happen, then it'll be. And then it'll come all the way back up again. How do I practice solos and riffs? Slowly and with great difficulty. So we'll take Parasite, for instance, because I struggled with that. I just took the riff and I played it slow. Yeah, for instance. As a matter of fact, I just posted a short on my channel of one of the new Bullet riffs that's like on the teasers, and it's that Black and Star one. Yesterday I just couldn't get that. I just couldn't get it. I could do it up to here. But getting back into it was an absolute nightmare for me, so I just spent the evening just going. And just slowing it down. As far as solos go, I forgot a lead channel so I can. I just start slow. So, for instance, if you take like a typical patch pattern, like just start with a metronome. And it starts to come for you. Just start slow, just slow, slow, slow. Half the track down, yeah? I say this in all my lesson videos. On YouTube, you can slow the track down all the way down to like 0.5% or something. And that's what I do. So, for instance, the solo on not Rainbow Vein, Shatter, there was a run that went something like that, yeah? And yeah, Excalibur. If anybody's wondering, by the way, Excalibur is one of my students who I teach week to week. But he's right there. You break it down into sections. So we take the Shatter solo, for instance. You've got the tapped run. Okay? That's not Shatter. That's Parasite. Sorry, that's Parasite. We take the Parasite solo, for instance. Sorry, I'm backtracking here. Okay? Because this is one I've had to work with, right? So it starts with the tapped run. So I'd learn that first. Okay? Now I know that the other key to speed of learning things really quickly is knowing your guitar player. So if I'm learning a Zakk Wylde solo, I know it's going to be pentatonic ripping with modal runs. If I know it's a Padge solo, he's going to do one of two things. It's all going to be natural minor. Okay? Or it's going to be his exotic Phrygian stuff. Okay, those scale shapes. I know the scale shapes that he goes for. Okay? So as soon as I hear him doing stuff like... As soon as I hear him doing that, I know the patterns he's going for because he's been doing those ones since Fever with Begging for Mercy, right? And then like Breaking Point, it's the same patterns, okay? Then I know the through just familiarity with it. Is that a word? Familiarity? Familiarization? I know the style of runs that he does, okay? It's not that hard to work out. It's very mathematical the way it moves. And I failed maths 3 times, okay? So if I can work this stuff out, anybody can, right? And if anybody's wondering, I got an E, resat, studied really hard, got a D, Resat again and got another E. So go figure. But anyways, stay in school, which I did. That's the heartbreaking thing of it. I tried, but here we are. So I know those. So I'm breaking it into sections, right? So Parasite, you've got the tapped run. As a matter of fact, to make it easy for myself, I've got the Parasite notes right here. So it starts with, because I've got the full lesson on my channel, right? So the solo, you got a tapped run with a bend to begin with, okay? So you've got... and then a bend at the end of that, okay? So that's one section. So I'll practice the hell out of that at half-time speed. Once I get that, I'll move on to the next section. So it's a melodic run with a pinch at the end. Yeah, something like that. There's a pinch harmonic at the end there. Okay? So then what I'll do, that's not too tricky. So what I'll do is I'll work out the hardest sections from the easiest ones, and I'll focus on the easiest ones first. The easiest sections in this song are without doubt the first two. Okay, so get the tapped run. Okay, then you've got the melodic run. Something like that. Okay, lots of vibrato, lots of shake. Yeah, that's what Padge likes to do. He likes to finish with a pinch and he likes to shake the hell out of it. Yeah, this knowledge just comes from obsessing over the band for years, yeah? This is not me blowing my trumpet here. This is me more a dig at how obsessive I've been, okay? So next after that, you've got the crazy run, which is a very typical Padge. You'll enter with some sort of... the structure is very typical Padge. It'll usually have some sort of run halfway through or to the back end of his solos. Go listen to Alone. I can't think of any. Go listen to the Breaking Point solo. Yeah, there's just some examples off the top of my head. He usually likes to finish the solo with a some sort of run. Under him 420, I learned the solo by ear and half from out called Songster. It kind of feels wrong to me though. I have to learn it properly eventually. If you want to learn it properly, the lesson is on my channel. So it's all the way at the end of it. I do all rhythm guitars first, then the solos right at the end. Songster is okay. Yeah, you can slow that down as well. That's another good one. Sometimes I use that if I can't quite get it by ear. So that's your second section, the melodic run. Then we've got the crazy fast 6-2 string run, which is this guy. And what I'll do is I'll put the track on, I'll slow it down to 75% speed, okay? And I'll play to it. Okay, until I get it up to speed, yeah? Then, after that, so that's 3 sections done, treat each one as an individual section, okay? Then what I'll do is I'll look at the last section. The last section is a 1st to 5th string descending pattern, okay, with a pinch at the end. So you've got something like that. I'm on my front pickup there. It's difficult to get the pinch in. There we go. Okay. So then I'll treat that as another section. I'll slow the track down again. I'll have it 75, 50%, maybe even all the way down to the bottom, which is like 0.25 speed. Yeah, and I'll just go. Something like that. A couple of notes hit and miss there. Then what I'll do, once I'm happy with that, is I'll connect the whole thing and play each section together. Okay, but there's an important thing, that's keeping the track slow. Keep the track slow at that point, yeah? So I'll start like this. I'll play to the track and I'll go. then what I'll do is I'll do that a load more times. Okay? And then what I'll do is I'll move it to the next speed. I won't go all the way, just to the next speed, okay? So we're about here now. Yep, and then I'll play the whole thing like that. And then I'm slowly edging my way toward the full speed. Yeah? And that's how I practice. So I start slow. I split it into sections like Mr. Excalibur said. Yeah? I've even got it all written down here, yeah? I mean that's for the lesson, yeah? But this is like what's going on in my head mentally. Okay? I've got the tapped run. I'm not sure if you can see this because of the light. Yeah, but I've got the tapped run, melodic run, crazy fast run, and then the descending pattern at the end. And in my head, I know it's just different sections. And then once I'm happy with all my sections, put it together nice and slow, and then slowly work my way up. And it's exactly the same with riffs. So the Parasite riff, for instance, you know, I just started with it slow. Just like that. Right, comments. So that's how I practice, slowly and grow. Yeah, it's definitely different than how I play it. Sounds more like the real. I definitely had to check your lesson out. Your help with the solo for Alone a bit a while ago. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed that one. Who'd have known about that one? Who'd have known about that being in there? Because it's so far buried in the mix underneath there. Which is really cool. It may feel that however you treat practice for what you can. Wait. It may feel that your music feel that way. Yeah, absolutely. I agree. Okay, so there is my there's my little practice for learning a solo. Practice routine. Well, you got to bear in mind, my day job as a guitar teacher, I'm playing scales all day long and chord shapes and stuff like that. I'm talking about it. So I'm kind of, in a way, practicing while I'm teaching because I'm having to remember the stuff. And then, as far as practicing technique goes, what I'll do is because I hate sitting to a metronome. Everybody does. I hate doing it. I hate sitting and going, you know. I hate it. It's grueling. It's boring. So what I'll do is I'll always have something on in the background. So I'll be sat here. Bias effects open over here on my Kemper on or whatever it is I'm doing. Yeah, I'm plugged in. I can hear everything in my cans. And that's another important thing as well. Practice with headphones on. You'll hear good, clean notes, and you'll hear very much in detail where you're going wrong. You might not get away with it as such. If you're just going through your amp, sometimes you'll miss notes. If you listen to everything close up, you'll hear everything nice and clear. And then what I'll do is I'll just put on something long in the background. So, for instance, a music documentary, I like some kind of Monster, Metallica interviews, Bob My Valentine interviews, musician interviews, or stuff that I'm just interested in that isn't even related to music, yeah? Something that's long and something preferably with no flipping ads. And I'll just sit practicing the stuff that interests me, technique-wise, that needs repetition and repetition, with that going on in the background. And I'll have it so that I can hear clearly what's going on in my ears and my guitar. But yeah, what was I saying? Sorry, I was reading your comment then, Jack. That threw me off. I discovered that even though we are not monetized, we can set up donations. Can we? Oh yeah, I've got a PayPal donation link. This isn't me asking you guys for money, by the way. But yeah, I have a PayPal link underneath, so I don't know if that's what you mean by that. But yeah, people can, if people enjoy my lessons and they just want to send like £2 across to get a pint or something, or it's just like that's what that's there for. But yeah, so I'll have like a documentary or something on in the background while I'm practicing, and that's how I do it. So I've got repetition going, and I've just got some. I know clearly what's going. I'll have a metronome in my ears as well, a click, and then I'll just be watching something. So I'm not just sat getting bored, just repeating the same things over and over. Recently, I started playing over instrumental tracks, and I feel it's so helping me. I was a guitarist for almost 9 years, and never really wanted to shred until the last 2. Yeah, that's good as well. Instrumental tracks, or even songs with vocals on and stuff, I really get a kick out of just improvising. So, for instance, what I'll do is, for instance, if I go like E flat, you're going to hear me butcher this now, probably. Go away, adverts. So, for instance, what I'll do is I'll put on a backing track, some sort of instrumental, and just go easy on my playing here because I'm obviously going to mess this up. But this is how I practice as well. I'll put a backing track on when the damn adverts finish. I'm not even sure I'm going to like this. It's groovy. I don't dig it. Try this one. Nope. I found a really cool one that I liked the other day. I find, first of all, half the battle is trying to find a... Nope. Half the battle is trying to find a backing track that I really like. Right? So, Nope, that sucks as well. It's because I'm tuned to E flat, so it's probably... But yeah, I'll find a backing track with, like... So, for instance, if I want to jam in a certain mode, for instance, like... Lydian's my big one at the minute, okay? And yeah, a lot of the times I'll just sit and I'll noodle away like that as well, but preferably with a backing track over the top. And I'll just, yeah, and then generally I'll have a backing track that I like. A cool thing that you can do as well is just practice over a drone note, and what that means is a note that just goes on and on and on. Let me show you. I made these for my lessons. Hopefully this isn't going to be too loud. Oh no, I haven't got one that suits this guitar at the minute, so that'll have to wait. But I'm not in key. I'm in E flat, which is very awkward of me. What I'm saying is, I put a drone note on in the background. So see if I can find E flat drone. Now, you'll find all sorts. Immersive. Oh wow, that's dark. How am I supposed to improvise over that? So what I'll do is I'll go onto YouTube and I'll type in drone note of the key that I want to play in. So in this case, D sharp, E flat, same thing, okay? I'll find the one I like. Gosh, this is low. But then, just to point the point across, this isn't what I would pick, but I'll just start playing over it. So I'll... And also, have you noticed I'm leaving space in between my phrasing, yeah? This is very interesting. I don't like practicing in front of people because it's like, somebody just comes on, it's just like, man, did you hear that guy playing? He was terrible, yeah? But what I'm trying to do is demonstrate a point here, yeah? I'm leaving space. Let me know if that's drowning out my guitars or it's the other way around, by the way, and I'll turn one up or down. Right, so what's happened there is I've just gone out of key. I've recognized it, so I'm going to start my phrasing again, rather than getting a panic. There you go, I'm still trying to find notes. I've recognized that I'm out of key, so I'm going to keep going. That isn't going to change, by the way. That backing track is not going to change. That is a drone note. It's consistent. That is the note of E flat or D sharp, whichever way you want to look at it. So I don't have to worry about that. Sorry, guys, I'm still full of cold. Okay. Losing my voice. Just 1 second. Let me grab a drink. So that drone note right there, that is not going to change. That is going on with E flat, E flat, E flat. So I don't have to worry about any changes musically. And that's nice because, for instance, excuse me, if I wanted to put on a heavy metal song, it's full of key changes and stuff like that. I'm just not going to be able to keep up with it if I'm improvising and I'm learning. Yeah, I'm practicing to something that's not going to change, and that's a massive support for me, okay? So all I have to worry about is my notes. So I'll just carry on. I'll just... There you go. That's how I do it. That's how I practice. Pretty much. I'm not sure how we got here onto this topic, but if this interests you, let me know, because I enjoy doing it. I've never played over that before, that's for sure. And also, don't always stick to the distorted tones. You know, like for instance, I like to play on a clean tone as well. Now, the cool thing about playing with lots of reverb is that is kind of acting as like drone notes for me to practice over. So if I go, that's going to ring out for ages. that's how I practice as well. I just use lots of reverb as well to keep a consistent drone sort of going that I've got to play over. Jack, you've been talking away here. Some practice content, really interested. Just me getting used to my new guitar. Practice the name of the game of things. Not handed to those who demand, but desire. Yeah, absolutely, I agree. And yeah, Jack plays practice and practices and stuff like that, which is really cool. Yeah. Man, I could sit on that all day. I don't know about you guys, but I love just clean reverby guitar all day long. You're interested? Most of my videos just dumb gaming moments with my friends, but I have some covers, not a lot too impressive, but still. Yeah, I'll check that out, man. Another thing as well that I would encourage anybody who wants to play lead guitar more proficiently, learn blues. That's where it all starts. Okay. Blues is key to heavy metal guitar playing because that's where heavy metal comes from, right? So, yeah. Like for me, like little jazz influences find their way in there, but I don't listen to a whole lot of jazz music as well, you know. So little notes and stuff that you shouldn't play, they find themselves in there, but they make it tasteful, you know. See, I told you we'd end up on the clean reverb tone. Try again. That's better. What is the chord that will belong there? Not that. There you go. I have to head out now, but it's cool to catch a stream, man. Have a great day, everyone. Thanks so much for hanging out today, guys. Or Undoing Ruin. I really appreciate your support, man. And yeah, I hope you have a great day too. I really appreciate it. Yikes, that was a bit hard. Wow, ended up way off course there. Okay, I think that's a good note to end this on. Been streaming for an hour and 46. Thank you to everybody who's hung out. Jack, if you're still here, thank you so much for hanging out. And yeah, let's do this again. I've had a good time. Thank you all for your support, as always, and keep an eye out for new videos that are going to be incoming soon. So, yeah, I guess that's it. So I hope you all have a great rest of your day, weekend, whatever it is you're doing, and I will catch you guys in the next one.